Hey everyone, you're in the Matrix. My name is Matthew. In a number of segments, I want to go through some of the experiential foundations of mind-body solutions. Like any story, one of the classic stories is Innocence Lost, and that also is the beginnings of mind-body solutions. If you don't know, I'm the founder of Mind-Body Solutions, and I'm a paraplegic, paralyzed from the chest down. I was in a remarkably extreme car accident. My father and sister were killed, and I broke a whole bunch of bones and did a whole bunch of stuff. But what I want to talk about is the experiences that I had that actually led to what is Mind-Body Solutions. And it's a story of a boy who starts to have experiences that don't match up with the adults around him. Now, I think that's a universal story, that everyone goes through this phase of where all of a sudden what the adults are saying or what the world's telling you is not mapping onto what you're experiencing. So I think the beginnings of Mind-Body Solutions is a universal story. I have something happen, I break my neck. One of the injuries I have, I break my neck. And to stabilize my neck, they ended up screwing screws into my head to make a halo cast, and I have an out-of-body experience. And I've described this in detail in Waking and even in my next book that hopefully will be coming out. And I don't want to do so here, but just know I had this experience where I moved away from my body and was watching it from below as the doctors were working on me. And I went into a place that was really silent. So I had this experience, and I come back and I go back to intensive care. And I have this experience that doesn't make any sense. I'm this 13-year-old boy, and it was full of a sensation of emptiness and loss while I was still watching. And I come back, and I start to, as I've been split open by the trauma, I start to have these feelings in my body. They're kind of floating around. They're not like normal sensation. And I tell the doctors about it, and they come in and they tell me that whatever I'm feeling below my point of injury, which is right at T4, right in my chest, they say these sensations aren't real. It's as if my legs were amputated, and an amputee doesn't realize that their legs are missing even though they're having sensations. So, but it doesn't match with what I'm saying, because I'm having these experiences where people, even different nurses and doctors, when they walked around my bed, like, the sensation in my legs would follow them. The connectivity between me and them was somehow tangible. And this experience doesn't match anything I was being told. I was being told to just focus on rehabilitation. And that tension between not what I was feeling didn't match what I was being told I was feeling. This is at the heart of Mind-Body Solutions. That tension that drove me, and it took me a lot of years to move towards forming Mind-Body Solutions like 30 years later. And so I want to ask you as the listener in the audience, when have you had things that you've experienced that don't match up to what you're being told? Because I think that tension is the foundation of innovation. And Mind-Body Solutions looks at that innocence of the boy that is just experiencing what he's experiencing and starts to go, wait, maybe what he was experiencing was real. And as I became older and started yoga 12 years later when I was 25, I started to think, wait, I need to go back and reclaim the sensations I had then and see if they can help me in the present when I started at 25 and also as I went forward. So that's the beginning, the innocence. And I want to remind all of us that everyone's born innocent. This is something, no matter what gender, what race, where you're born, who your family is, all of that. Innocence is what starts our path. Then the world happens, then life happens, and that's the task of living.